Hey, welcome to The Explainer. If you're a volleyball coach, you know that moment. That one in a tight match where things just start to unravel. Well, today, we're going to break down a really powerful mental skill to stop that from happening. It's called the stop skill, and honestly, it's the internal break your athletes desperately need when the pressure starts to surge.
This quote right here, it just nails it. Look, the goal isn't to create some perfect team that never makes an error. We all know that's impossible. The real mission is to install a kind of circuit breaker, a tool that stops one shanked pass from turning into a three-point spiral that costs you the whole set.
You've seen this 1,000 times, right? The game gets tight, the crowd gets loud, and suddenly the team that was playing all free and easy just a minute ago, now they look tight, they look reactive. It's so frustrating to watch from the sideline. But what's actually going on inside your athletes' heads?
Well, it's this phenomenon we call the surge. In volleyball, pressure rarely looks like outright panic. It shows up as speed, a sudden, rapid acceleration of thoughts, emotions, and reactions. Your athlete's internal system starts running way faster than the game itself. And you see it, right? You see it in the tightened shoulders on serve receive, the rushed footwork on an approach. That internal speed is exactly what derails good mechanics and smart decisions.
Okay, so let's get into the solution. The stop skill is basically engineered to be the hinge that swings between that chaotic surge and a state of real focused composure. It's a simple tool, and this is the important part, it's teachable. It gives your athletes a way to slam the brakes on that internal momentum before it totally takes over. Now, this is what's so interesting, and I think this slide makes it really clear. STOP is not about telling an athlete to just calm down or to force some kind of positive thinking. This isn't a coping skill, it's a performance skill. Its one and only job is to interrupt the surge, that's it, to break that reactive pattern and create just enough space for your athlete to choose their next action instead of just being a victim of their last mistake.
So how does this actually work on the court? Let's get into the mechanics. The beauty of STOP is that it's a really simple acronym, and every step is designed to be done in a split second, even when your mind is racing and the gym is absolutely definite.
Okay, first up is S, stop the spin. This is a physical pause, even for just a heartbeat, to break that autopilot reaction. Next, T, take a breath. Seriously, just one intentional exhale can do wonders to reset the nervous system. Then O, observe. This isn't some deep therapy session, it's just naming the state. Rushing, tight, frustrated. Just naming it helps put the brain back in the driver's seat. And finally, P, proceed with intention. This is the pivot back to the game with a tiny, clear focus like next ball or feet to the ball.
So here's the crucial part. Stop isn't some theory you talk about once in a team meeting. No way. It's a skill, and you build it through reps. And the absolute best way to do that is to weave it directly into the volleyball drills your team is already running every single day at practice.
Let's look at a really practical example. Rapid rep serve receive. You just run the drill at a tempo that's a little bit faster than normal, to kind of induce that little bit of surge. As the coach, you're just looking for the signs. Shoulders creeping up, rushed footwork. The second you see it, you call out stop. The player pauses, takes one breath, and resets for the next ball. The goal here is to train them to feel that surge coming on and use the tool themselves without you even having to say anything. Okay, here's another one. Error reset hitting lines. Super simple. In any hitting drill, if a player makes an error, their only job is to pause and execute a full stop. The pause, the breath, the mental reset before they get back in line. And this is so important. You have to frame this as an opportunity, not as a punishment. What you're doing is brilliantly pairing that moment of chaos, the mistake, with an immediate, practiced act of getting back in control. All right, so you've put in the work, you've run the drills. What's the payoff? When this skill really takes root, what does a composed, regulated team actually look like out there on the court? And this just illustrates the signs perfectly. They're visible. You will literally see shoulders drop after a shanked pass. The frantic pace of the game just steadied. Instead of seeing eyes on the floor after an error, you see them reorient to the court, to their teammates. But the biggest tell? Mistakes stop coming in bunches. And the ultimate sign that you've really succeeded? Your players start cueing each other. That's when you know regulation has become contagious. Ultimately, this gets to the very heart of what we're all trying to build as coaches. Composure isn't about creating some pressure-free bubble for our athletes. It's about giving them the tools to meet that pressure head-on, recover from the stumbles, and consciously choose to be ready for the very next play. So the big takeaway here is that composure isn't a personality trait your players either have or they don't. It is a trainable physical skill. By teaching your team to stop, you're giving them a shared language and a really concrete system to manage pressure together, right there in the middle of the action.
If you want to dive deeper into this, you can get more information at flowmpc.com. The MPS Athlete, Coach, and Pocket Guides are all available for purchase on Amazon.